My boyfriend of 1 year cheated on me. He got plastered at a concert we went to his house after and I left because people were over and I didn't want to hang out super late. At that point he was so drunk he was slurring his words. An hour later he calls me begging me to come over since everyone left, and started threatening breaking up just cause I didn't want to come back over. He gets kinda toxic when he drinks sometimes. I fell asleep but woke up a little later and saw his mom texted me asking if we would turn the music down. I looked on Snapchat and this girl we know posted a video of him, his friend and her friend at his house, so I messaged her, asked her if anything weird was going on, but she didn't respond. I called him a million times and texted but he didn't respond. I had this terrible feeling, so I went over there and walked in on him with her. I truly believe he would never do this to me if alcohol wasn't involved. He would never even put himself in a situation like that. When he drinks too much he turns into a different person and it's not him. I'm not saying that to justify anything, but it's been a problem he's had and he put himself in a terrible situation this time. He is so remorseful and hates himself. He knows he probably lost me forever and I know that kills him. Part of me hopes that he will give up drinking, go to therapy, work on himself and self-image, and we could eventually get back together and come out stronger than before. He is the love of my life and I've never loved anyone the way I've loved him. I've been in a lot of relationships but I've never really been in love until him. I never really even liked my exes. It's very rare for me to be attracted to someone romantically, and even when I am the feeling wears off so fast. Our only holdup has been his binge drinking, which is obviously a huge holdup. I think I was starting to resent him for that, and knowing how much drinking was holding us back in life and our self-growth, his small toxic behaviors were low-key mentally abusive. And because of that I couldn't show him love in the way he needed. But also I realized no matter how much I love him, he can only fix himself and his negative self-image. I guess I have to decide if it's worth it to ever work things out, and if I want to spend the rest of my life with someone who's an alcoholic, knowing things will always have its ups and downs. We would have to set so many boundaries, learn to communicate better about our needs, and make so many changes, but also in a way that doesn't make us resent each other. It won't be easy. But to me it feels worth it because I don't think I could ever love someone the same way again. I've talked to him a bit, not really about getting back together but about how he needs help and how his binge drinking is holding him back in so many ways. Also telling him how hurt I am. I think I said all I needed to say at this point, and now I just need to give it time, let him miss me and realize what he lost. Who knows, maybe after time I'll feel completely different about wanting to be with him. Maybe I'll never be able to unsee what happened. I'm so confused and I have so many thoughts racing through my head. I know I need to focus on myself for a while. I'm so worried that this whole situation will make him worse and start spiraling. I just want him to get better even if it's not with me. He really is the sweetest, most loving, giving person, but he self-sabotages and turns to alcohol because he doesn't love himself. It breaks me to see him do that to himself and what he did to me. Comment. Smart choice to leave. You can't change him and he will only drag you down. If he wants to be better, he needs to do the work himself. No cutting corners or making excuses. But you should not wait around for that. At this point in your life, as young as you are, you cannot say that you don't think you could ever love anyone like you love him. And trust me, what you saw when you caught them together is something you will never unsee. Even if by some stroke of luck you get back together, he gives up drinking forever and you have a life and several children together. There are some things that a couple in a committed relationship are not meant to see. I know this from experience. Perhaps all I can say is this. Regardless of the fact that it will be difficult, you need to end it for good. End it and block him on all your social media, because with his lifestyle there will be hurtful posts of him you don't need to see. Block him from your phone until you're strong enough to not be sucked back into a relationship with someone who will only bring you grief. Then, grow on your own terms. Live a good and happy and joy-filled life away from all the drama his alcoholism brings. Leave yourself open to meeting a good man who puts you first, loves you most, and needs you more than an addiction, and won't even dream of cheating on you. Finding him with another woman? See it as a blessing in disguise. A wake-up call toward better things. Now live your life and thrive. Don't fall in love with his potential. That's not who he is. I understand that alcohol can affect people differently, but even near blackout drunk, you can recognize your partner. He knows this was a potential issue but refused to not drink, or hell, even drink less. I firmly believe in drunk words equals sober thoughts. If he hasn't revealed his toxic nature openly yet, he will very soon. Beyond that, he sounds like he has an addiction he refuses to get help from. You might feel sympathy or he might guilt you, but you cannot do anything for someone who doesn't want help. He can say he will change all day, but is he actually making effort to go rehab, or is he just manipulating you into staying, except get dragged down to rock bottom with him? He has no intention of quitting and you cannot change him. Just leave before you do something irreversible, like having a kid or catching an STD because he cheated. I'm so sorry you're dealing with this. Alcohol or any drugs, especially if it's binge drinking, are no joke. I was this guy in my younger years. I'm 42 now and have been sober for many years. I'm happily married now, but it was rough in my younger days. But I can tell you one thing, you cannot change him. Where he's only 24. He's going to have to be the one to realize he has an issue with drinking, hit rock bottom, or chose to get help on his own. You can't be the one to save him, as much as you want to. I know it hurts since you love him. But that's the hard, honest truth. Move on like others mentioned. In the future you'll be glad you did. Where he only 24, I hate to say it. But he's just getting started with the drinking. I'm saying this from experience. I didn't give up the drinking and drugs until I was 30, lost my career, was at rock bottom and finally realized something had to change. Good luck. This boy's, not man's, insecurities and alcohol abuse make him an unsuitable long-term partner. Only he, himself, can fix his problems, and alcohol will impede that. Every one of us has issues we have to deal with, before we are worthy of deep relationships. Maybe, this boy just needs a reality check from losing someone close to him, and time to mull over his choices, before he becomes a worthy partner. Currently, any close relationship with him can only lead to heartache and disappointment. If it weren't for the alcohol, he wouldn't have gambled away all our money. If it weren't for the alcohol, he wouldn't have gotten that other girl pregnant. If it weren't for the alcohol, he wouldn't have driven his car into that kid riding his bike. If it weren't for the alcohol, he wouldn't have slapped me. My family tree is littered with the ruined lives of spouses and children of alcoholics. Let him work on his sobriety while you're not together. If he succeeds, and he can prove it to you, then you can give it another try. You can't blame much on alcohol. It's true it brings out the real you. I was with a girl that blamed cheating on alcohol. She would say in tears to her friends, "That wasn't me, that was the alcohol." She kept doing it, so I felt like if she really cared and was an adult, 27, she would not let herself drink to that point, but she always did. I found all of this on the day we broke up, not from her but from her friends. It messed me up really bad for a long time. So just go. If he's a total different person on alcohol, then he's holding back his true self while sober. Next story 2. Is sleeping with someone while on a break cheating? My ex-boyfriend and first love came back into my life stating he was single. We had kept in touch through the years, and had always been open about missing each other and still having feelings for each other. It was during college we broke up after 6 years of being together due to him wanting to socialize more, meet new people, etc. We were now 26 and had finished college, started our careers, and he had texted me out of nowhere. Mind you, we had some run-ins through the years since we broke up while we were in college, so it wasn't a total surprise he made a reappearance in my life. I asked him if he was with anyone and he said no. We began hanging out every day, and I kept it light, not assuming he wanted to get back with me, to protect my feelings. We hung out a lot over the summer, talked about our accomplishments and milestones since we have been apart. He would take me on dates, help me around my apartment, and was persistent with convincing me to get back together and start a life with him. Out of nowhere, a girl messaged me on Instagram attacking me. It turns out he was just on a break with her. She was livid and she dragged me through the mud with names. I was accused of being a homewrecker, a joke, etc. I was speechless and didn't fight back. He then told me that she accepted that it was her fault why he went to me because she asked for a break, blamed herself. I felt it in my gut that his mind was somewhere else and that she would ask him to get back with her. I was stunned that he would want to get back with someone that called me names. More so, because him and I were childhood friends aside from the romance. I thought that he would put his foot down or maybe take a time out before making any rash decisions like be in a relationship with me or get back with her, since everything was just so tense. I stayed quiet, because I was too tired to fight for him. I was humiliated. He then texted me saying he is tempted to get back with her, and that he hopes I understand because he's happy for me and that he wishes me well. I should be happy for him too, WTF. His last message was something along the lines of I hope we will look at each other one day and know we have nothing but respect for each other, smoothing over the mess he left. Anyways. She asked him to get back with her, stating that she wants to build a life with him. He proposed to her shortly after. They are now married. He is now a family man, started his business to provide for her, and is now living a quiet life with her. Which all doesn't add up to me because the way they got there was hurting other people, manipulating each other. How does that equate to a nice wholesome marriage that figured it out? Maybe it's possible. Would you say what he did to her was cheating? Is he honest to her now? I think I'm just asking because I feel really used by someone who I thought was my lover, homie, friend. Edit. Last week, he came up to me at the gym and made small talk with me and was asking how I've been, if I still work at the same place, how I am doing, how my family is, etc. He was talking to me like we were old friends, and as if nothing happened. Felt like garbage because he's married now, and as his friend I was able to handle all the BS and have his back for him to get where he is now. Felt like a slap in the face. I packed up my stuff and worked out somewhere else. Felt like a mindfuck. I imagine he is oblivious and clueless that leading me on, we were about to split bills that summer, and suddenly getting back with her had really affected me. Comment. He is not your homie or friend. He is a user. He used you. I don't want this to come off harsh, but I would suggest therapy and moving on. He is a waste of mental space. He loves her. He reunited with you because she decided to cut things off for a moment. He kept that a secret from you for a reason. So you wouldn't know that he only hit you up because he wasn't with his girl/bored. He hasn't hit you up before or after that situation while he was in a relationship with her because he loves her. I don't think she convinced him too hard. You loved that man, but trust me, he is not too worried ABTU because he would be with you, providing for you. Move on for your mental and emotional health. Let's stop for a minute, and what did we learn from this relationship? Did we learn that when we end something with someone regardless of who they are or what you all thought you had, that you end it? Did you learn it? Because damn sure hope you did. They are toxic and their life is going to be miserable with him more than likely cheating and her being very abusive. Take joy in that fact. Other than that though, you understand that when you break up with someone and keep them as a friend means you aren't over them, and when you do that you can't move on or heal. You basically kept opening a closing wound each time you kept in touch. So no one new could come into your life or connect with you because you were stuck on that person who obviously was not your person. So let's just understand why we shouldn't keep exes in our lives, or people who we have hooked up with, or people we find attractive and would like to sleep with. It's because they all are potential cheating partners and show that you aren't ready for a commitment relationship. You see how he was on a break, which by the way never should have been a thing, ever. When you break up it's done. Don't play this yo-yo bullshit, off/on, teenager high school silliness. See what happened with it though? He screwed around, she got mad, and now they're married. You got abused because of it? Stop keeping exes or ex-hookups as friends. They aren't friends, they are you not letting go of the past. Taking a break and F around is cheating in my world. It's a big difference if both agree to open up a relationship/marriage or break up. Then you're absolutely free. I feel sorry for you, Op. He's not your friend. He's a simple user that'll most probably cheat on his wife in the future. There is no such thing as taking a break in a relationship. You are either in the relationship or you have broken up. Sure, someone can ask for space to deal with classes/work/mental health/etc., but this is just saying the intensity of the relationship needs to cool off in order to deal with whatever. But you are still in the relationship and expected to remain monogamous with your partner. I guess it depends on how you want to define taking a break. Don't allow him to keep coming in and out of your life. Next time confront him with the reality of, you don't appreciate being used, so don't act like we are friends and to stay away from you. Then walk away and block him completely.